Good.
Is it true that you offered Pun money to lose weight? He said in an interview you offered him like $1,000
a pound.
Yeah.
$1,000 a pound. Yeah. We sent him to Duke University to a fat phone.
And he lost 100.
He lost 50.
Mm-hmm.
And then he called me. He says, "I want the bet to be off." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "No, I'm proud of you." He goes, "No, I'm coming home." I'm like, "Why are you coming home for?" He goes, "I promised my daughter that I'd take her to her first day of school." So Pun was special, man. Him and Joe are the only two artists that ever gave me a gift.
Really?
Wow. Only two.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, RZA and Divine gave me a wedding gift, but a thank you gift.
Right. Straight up present.
Yeah. So when Pun started, when Still Not a Player was blowing up, and he's getting all this crazy show money with this, that, he came in with the most beautiful Cuban link bracelet. I was like, wow, the road must be good for you. Like, He goes, man, if we go platinum, I'm getting you one. I'm like, Pun, we're shipping platinum. Like,
It's guaranteed already.
Yeah, like, you don't have to give me. He goes, 2 million. I said, Pun, we'll be 2 million in 2 weeks. Like, the album, he goes, all right, 3 million. I'm like, all right. Just, so we hit our numbers. A year later, he calls me. And usually Joe calls me, right? Because he was signed to Joe. He goes, I want to come up and play you some music. So I had his product manager was a guy by the name of Gerard Hunt. So Gerard comes in, he goes, Pun is going to come. I go, are you sure? I said, does Joe know? So I called Joe. I said, hey, Pun wants to come and play new music. I said, are you cool with that? He goes, yeah. So comes in 3 o'clock, whatever time, whatever the meeting was. And our relationship, we would just talk shit to each other, right? And I haven't seen him now in 6 months. And he gained the 50 back plus another 50, right? And I'm like, man, I got an issue with you. I said, have I ever lied to you? He goes, no. And I said, you promised me your bracelet when we hit 3 million. I said, we were at 3 million 4 or 5 months ago. And he goes in his pockets, and he's wearing a hoodie with the Air Jordan logo, but with the Pun, but right?
Right.
And he takes out this box wrapped to the nines, and he throws it at me. He goes, here you go, motherfucker. And it's the most beautiful Cuban link bracelet I've ever seen with my name on.
Dope.
And I got it framed in a box.
How did you connect with Pun?
I was in Chicago. I was consulting Quincy Jones.
Cool. Rest in peace.
And a guy by the name of Mickey Benson called me, and he says, I got Fat Joe on the phone. And I didn't know Joe. And he says he is the next Biggie. I said, all right, I'll be in the office. Let's meet on Tuesday. So this is Thursday. I'm in Chicago. I fly back to LA, and I'll be in New York on Monday. I must have gotten, 8 to 10 calls. Don't do business with Fat Joe. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. So before the meeting, and he's literally right on time, like no hit, like boom. So before we walk into my office, I said, can I talk to you over here? And he said, what's the matter? I said, I got 10 calls that you're a killer, you're an extortionist, you're this, you're that, like, and not to do business with you. I said, my family's a bunch of gangsters, right? I said, I want to show the world that they're all wrong and they could all go f themselves. And he looks at me like I'm crazy. and we became brothers ever since then. So Pun wasn't there. So this is Tuesday, and in those days I would be in New York Monday, and then I would take a plane home Thursday night back to LA and spend it on the weekends. And I said, can we meet Thursday at 1 o'clock? Not even 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And he's like, yeah, no problem. He goes, and I'm going to bring Pun. So I walk in around 10:30, and Matty C is in the office. Matty's never in the office. There was like a royalty check waiting for him that he never picked up because he was always in the studio and the office wasn't his thing. I'm like, what are you doing here? He goes, don't you have a meeting with Pun? I'm like, you're here for this meeting? And he said, yeah. The second they walked in, I said, who's your lawyer? They said, so-and-so. I was like, great, they're Wu-Tang's lawyer, and he's 2 blocks away from the office.
Right.
I said, Tim, get over here now. We're doing a deal. And everybody's such a, he goes, you haven't heard music. I'm like, Matty, you're here. It's your job to make, I go, if you're here, that means he's special. And that's how we signed Pun, without hearing
crazy.
1 ounce of music.
Not one
Wow.
ounce
Crazy.
of music.
Wow.
When you finally did hear the music, were you like, woo?
Nah. I mean, Matty was such a perfectionist and such a hip hop snob. I knew that he had to be special. And there was something about Joe, his passion about him. Like, it was like love at first sight for me and Joe. Like, you know, but it was like, and it would be 30 years in 1996, even though the album came out in 98 that we met. And we never had 1 ounce of a problem. When Atlantic was f***ing with him, he called me now I'm at SRC, and he goes, I want to do a Terror Squad album again. I go, Joe, whatever you want to do. We've only had success together. And Lean Back came out of that without hearing an ounce of music.
You've been winning for a very long
Yo,
time.
your run is crazy, bro. Your run is crazy.
How did you feel when, rest in peace, how did you feel when Pun passed away? Because I kind of expected that to be the biggest disappointment.
Well, yeah, that. So